Let's learn how to give feedback on a story. We can give feedback on different elements of a story. Here is how we give our feedback for different elements. State what you like about the characters. State your opinion about the crisis and its subsequent resolution. Give clear suggestions for improvement. The writer can now consider your comments. Let's learn about how to plan an original story. First, choose the genre you want to base your story on. Next, create an entertaining plot. Adding interesting characters to our narrative fiction makes it captivating. Planning a narrative fiction always makes it better. Reference words help us refer back to words or phrases that have already been used. Pronouns are used to replace a noun or a noun phrase. Quantifiers show quantity. Demonstratives point to a particular word. Reference words are used to avoid repetition. It is important to keep in mind the structure of a narrative. We need to establish the main idea of the story and the characters in the introduction. Then, we elaborate on the plot and the crisis. We also need a plan to find a resolution for the crisis. Now, give a fitting title to your story.
Quirky, QWERTY. Before we had computers to process documents digitally, we had typewriters. Typewriters use physical pieces of metal with raised letters on them, called type hammers, to make neat printed marks on paper. While today we can simply hit the delete key, making an error when using a typewriter often meant starting all over again. The mechanism in most typewriters is powered entirely by the typist's fingertips. The paper moves from right to left on a carriage at the back. In between is a complex arrangement of levers and springs that move as the typist uses different keys. The type hammers move up and down as the typist hits the keys, and if this happens too quickly, they can collide and jam together. To disentangle them, the typists would have to reach into the machine and risk getting ink and oil on themselves. To reduce the risk of that happening, the designer of the first popular typewriter, Christopher Latham Sholes, 1819 to 1890, rearranged the keyboard so that often used letters were spaced widely apart. This resulted in the first QWERTY keyboard. Although there is absolutely no need to arrange the letters randomly on computer keyboards today, no one has seen the need to change the QWERTY. In fact, it is now the universal standard for keyboards.